cause y'all know what it is.
TNN Trap News Network.
I was with Rich Trapper.
I fucks with you.
What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? Rich Trapper tapping in, TNN Trap News Network. Back in the same, like cook cracking the same here at TNN Trap News Network. Good news you can use. Good knowledge, though. You're not finna get nobody's college, though. Hit the turn like with a comment with a good subscribe. Everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. It's that news you can use. It's that good knowledge you're not finna get in nobody's college. Tap in with the tap in to make sure you're in fact tapped in with that good tap in. We finna get into this Kantiana, ADAM22, breaking down why he has canceled the Thursday No Jumper show. It's not like it was the greatest show on this No Jumper platform, but it's out of here, man. We finna see what's going on. Let's tap into it and hear from ADAM22 himself. Let's get into it. Let's go. If you ain't did so, follow the No Jumper channel.
I guess kind of low-hanging fruit, but I can speak on this just to start. So, from my recollection, when we started doing an additional episode of the No Jumper show every week, this is fun. The idea was like, okay, we had a good cast going. Brick Baby, Lush, me. That was like the root of the Tuesday show at the time. We felt like, you know what? Let's expand this. Let's do an additional show per week. We'll do it on Thursdays, and we'll kind of make it like the Tuesday show, except that we will have Flacco instead of Adam. Which, listen, you might not like Flacco. I know a lot of people don't like Flacco, but a lot of people do like Flacco. And Flacco, realistically, he's like a Mike-ish, you know? Like, I felt like him leading the podcast was probably a pretty decent idea. So, and shout out to Golden Goose for the 7 months. He said, love you, Adam. I love you too, brother. So basically, like, that was the idea with the Thursday show. Then, what happens? Brick gets locked up.
Yeah, I love you too, brother. Was very Hulk Hogan, Hell's Angel-ish, but go off, do your thing.
Flacco goes MIA. And the Thursday show continued on, but it became something that was really kind of different. You feel me? Like, it just became a different experience, okay? And
it became trash.
Ultimately, upon watching recent episodes, I ended up feeling like, you know what? I think the Thursday show is really just the news now. You know, like, okay, on No Jumper, we kind of have like two different podcast formats at this point. We have the No Jumper show, and then we have the news. What is the news? To me, the news is like podcasts on No Jumper without Adam on the podcast, right? I don't think that's so crazy to say. Like, the Tuesday show is different because I'm on it, and the Adam and Wax.
He said the news is basically where I dump all you other muckers that I really don't want to deal with, that I really don't want to podcast with, but I can make money off you, so I'm gonna just drop you off over here. It's like dropping them off in a special class and just continue to keep pushing. Basically, got it.
It was different because obviously that's me and Wag. But as far as the Thursday show, it just started to feel like the news. And especially the thing that kind of pushed me over the edge was the fact that not this week, but last week, I think it was like Tay called out, and then I forget who else called out, but like a bunch of people called out. And it just really kind of started to feel like, okay, like, you guys are not taking this serious enough. No offense to them. But it just ended up feeling like, you know what? I don't really feel like this is enough effort being...
He's basically saying, why am I paying you guys? If you're not going to be here, if you're not going to take this serious, you're not really doing anything to make the channel grow, why am I paying you to be here? Let's go ahead and get you up out of here, and I can move on to something that's actually lucrative and profitable.
Put in to differentiate it from the news. So, really nothing at all has changed, except for the fact that the Thursday show is now just called the news. The Thursday, well, you can still call it the news. Thursday news, right? So, I don't really feel too bad about it, but I do understand that, like, Lush was upset. He felt like he should have been briefed on it. Here's my problem with Lush, is that I feel like Lush doesn't put forth the effort to, like, plan out topics and ideas that would maybe necessitate the Thursday show being its own entity, if you feel me. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
See, Lush is not really a self-starter like that. Like, everybody somebody got to be assistant manager proudly. Somebody got to be an assistant to the pimp. You feel me? The assistant pimps is a thing for a reason. Everybody's not the go-getter, whatever. So you expect somebody like Lush, who is happily passing out on the floor on, buzz balls in his own excrements, smoking yak yo cane. You feel me? How are you expecting him to lead a podcast? He doesn't even want to lead his own life. So you expecting things out of Lush that he don't expect out of himself. Now I can understand on the back end of a boss is like, well, if that's a sentiment to him, why am I paying this dude? Why am I doing anything to facilitate, money coming out of my pocket to feed this, basically, like you said, crashing out addiction? And that's a thing too. So, it can go a lot of ways.
Have a desire to do more podcasting on a weekly basis on this channel, whether that's going to be me doing these solo streams or if it's going to turn into something that is more like me just doing another day out of the week. And let me explain my thought process on that. And we're going to be getting into some more interesting stuff momentarily, but I just wanted to kind of do a little state of the nation on here for you guys. So, fire Lush on stream. Again, that would be interesting. I fuck with Lush. I love Lush. I just don't. Okay, let me just put it like this: the Tuesday show. It's just like gangster summit, like LA gang summit at this point, And when I say that, it's not because we necessarily like wanted it to be that. It just kind of turned into that. Now, keep in mind, remember, it used to...
Now, this is no disrespect to anybody on the Tuesday show, because I think that it's one of the better shows on No Jumper. If you ask my personal opinion, somebody who watches everything in this universe, a lot of people not going to admit this. Everybody say, well, I just saw a clip. Like, I'll be watching everybody's shit. That's how you react, is by watching everybody's stuff. But with that all being said, I think the Tuesday show is one of the more interesting, shows that they have on No Jumper. I think that's pretty much the only show that, and I got to say it, people do watch the Adam and Rat show, I can't lie. Those are the two shows pretty much keeping the No Jumper platform together, for lack of better words, if you want to ask my honest, humble opinion. Let's see what Adam really has to say about it. Let me start running my mouth.
The cam girl, Adam, and house phone. Then it turns into... I see Lush. He's wandering around with a bong. Then it turns into AD, house phone, Adam. So it's like, then we have one gang member of sorts on the podcast, AD. Then obviously that kind of blows up, and then we scramble for a while, and then the next state of No Jumper show that ended up kind of making sense was like Brick Baby, Adam, Lush. And so that was like, yeah, you have Brick, who's like the most gangster dude who might have ever been on the No Jumper show, which, I mean, actually, I'm not even going to clarify that. That seems like it's obviously true. He's got a federal RICO right now, so, I mean, I guess that kind of qualifies. But then we add in Munchie, then Ant, then Spody Face. And so right then you have like a Rolling 40s Crip, Inglewood Family Blood, and an 8 Trey Crip all on the same podcast, which is kind of, a thing from an LA perspective. Now, I do have the desire to podcast about things that are outside of the gangster sphere, right? Like, I definitely, I like a lot of things that are outside of the gangster world, and you might forget about that sometimes. You might lose sight of that sometimes because of the No Jumper show and everything has become so gangster. But, I spend time observing a lot of things outside of that. I listen to the new albums every week if I get a chance. I watch the Grammys over the weekend, etc. But it kind of feels like pulling teeth.
So basically, ADAM22 saying that he's trying to get away from these LA politics and actually go back into what his podcast was intended to be about, the state of the music culture, state of music going-ons and all that kind of stuff. Because if you look at it in totality, you're looking at guys like Gillian Wallow, you're looking at guys like Academics even, you're looking at guys like Joe Budden, and they're getting these major bags, man. Major bags, 6-figure bags, sometimes 7-figure bags, some situations even 8-figure bags, shout out to Joe Budden, to do phenomenal things. Meanwhile, No Jumper's not getting any of this chili because it is stuck into a dynamic of street politics, LA gang politics, crash out culture, and a very detrimental audience that has pretty much been cultivated by the root of No Jumper. You feel me? Yeah, you can say that you have the dealings of Back on Fig and Community and other platforms that add to it, but it comes from the the hate culture, the hate group, the hate watching, all that stems directly from No Jumper. And no big brand, no big, anything is really going to want to be tied too heavily to that, because it's, number one, not profitable, but number two, it just looks bad for business. If you have a bunch of people saying these crazy things in the chat, it disrupts advertisers, it disrupts potential investments. Nobody wants to see, they want to put ADAM22 as a sponsor, but the chat is just trashing the product the whole time, or saying all these crazy outlandish things that ultimately was to the betterment of them trying to humiliate and expose their enemies and blah, blah, blah at one point in time. And that so-called cyberbullying has now become the downfall of this entire platform, this entire quote-unquote culture. But let's see what's going on with it.
You're telling these dudes who realistically are in the streets and don't really have the same level of interest in things that are kind of like outside of their world, it starts to feel kind of pointless to be telling them. Like, I remember at one point I told Aunt Hefe and Munchie to like listen to the new Justin Bieber album, and then they didn't, and we were on the podcast, and I was like kind of ready to talk about it. And then like I think the same thing with the Rocky album. I and those are just two random examples, but like realistically, it's just not like the smoothest process trying to get them to like engage with stuff that's outside of their world. So my thing is like I kind of want to start another podcast weekly on this channel that will kind of be able to cover other things. Now, I already kind of know one person I really want to have on it, which is Moose Man. Moose Man says he's moving out here, and I was having this conversation with Moose Man. I think that Moose Man would be someone who I could kind of count on to engage with these content. Like, I would love to like watch TV shows that kind of matter in the culture and be able to talk about those on a weekly basis. So I would like to do that. And one idea I had, and I would actually like to know what you guys think of this.
So is he softly trying to say that he's about to fire Munchie B, Young and Hefe and Spody Face? Like, what was the point with that? Like, where does this conclude?
Me, Moose Man, Flacco. Would that be of interest for a weekly show? I was thinking Monday, maybe Wednesday, we do like a live show where we kind of attempt to... I like Monday because I feel like that's closer to the weekend in the sense of, the albums come out on Thursday. Wednesday is like so far away. Wednesday is like literally a whole week. So from my perspective...
Now you have to wonder, is your fan base that you've cultivated to be involved in this toxicity and this, hostile behavior, are they going to be open and accepting to this new form of content that you're now trying to not really introduce them to? It be a more reintroduction, but that they've grown accustomed to hearing all this flu, flammery, skullduggery, and larceny. Are they going to want to hear something solid? But we about here to the next one, man. Y'all know the deals. Red dots to the left. Y'all can watch more of this on ADAM22's channel. We are gone.
Apollo Texas.
Dangerous. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Work all in the floorboards. Tell the ops check the scoreboard. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. And if you shoot, you ain't miss. A nigga ball like game 6. A nigga ball like game 6.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Water like us niggas up in game 6. Miss it with the bullshit, you can save it. Water like us niggas up in game 6.
Game 60 bands on my neck when I got it on me. And I remember I was broke, I never let them hold me. Final seconds with my back against the wall. 81 point strong with this K, I call it Kobe. Running through this lettuce, nothing you can tell us. Gotta watch my back, I know that they get jealous. Real shit, I got rich, ain't gotta embellish. Real life made men, they call us good fellas. And I ain't got anxiety, I know it's intuition. May never love a bitch, but I for sure play my position. I know the streets talking, I'm cracking, so I ain't tripping. I said I play for keeps, but I guess them niggas ain't listening. Sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry, and I can't miss. Nah, you can't come outside when it's dangerous. You niggas never outside when it's never outside, nigga.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Water like us niggas up in game 6. Miss it with the bullshit, you can save it. Water like us niggas up in game 6.
I've been went and told my ops check the scoreboard. Money in the attic, work all in the floorboards. Late night, that's the life that we pray for. Overtime with the pack is what we in the game for. Put myself in the game and everything is just a memory. Made a couple plays for the pain, not an enemy. Gotta watch my friends more, I gotta watch the enemies. Friends is hella fake, I know what enemies intention. I let it go until it click if I'm aiming. Started staying safe and ended up staying dangerous. Game on the line, see the pressure I can take. Hall of Fame shit, so if it's mine, I'ma take. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous.
You think I'm outside when it's dangerous? Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. You think I'm outside when it's dangerous? Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6. Missy with the bullshit, you can save it. Ballin' like us niggas up in game 6.
Safe like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas always inside when it's dangerous. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous.